So welcome back to DecoyNoise and a special episode of Am I the Antagonist? And am I the antagonist for threatening to take my friend's cat away? So in a very special episode of DecoyNoise, we got Cheddar a cat reveal because he never wants to hang out with me while I'm recording this, and he's actually kind of nervous right now, so there he is right there. So sorry, bud. Okay, so that worked right now, so subscribe down below, but let's just get to that post right now. So OP writes, my friend is a vegan and has been for a while. Recently though, she got a cat and is forcing her vegan diet on her cat. I tried telling her that cats are not carnivores, or no, their cats are carnivores and need meat in their diet. She said that, oh, she will be fine being a vegan. It's better for your health anyways. I kept telling her that cats are not omnivores, but she kept saying it was fine. Finally, I snapped after seeing her cat getting weaker and weaker and said, you're abusing your cat and I will call animal control to take your cat from you if you do not start taking care of her properly. Am I the antagonist for saying I'd take her cat away? And the first edit was, by take I mean call animal control, and edit 2, if the cat gets removed, I want to adopt her to treat her properly, but would that make me an even worse friend for getting her cat just taken away just to get it for myself? So like I always do, we go to this to Decoy Court with my knee-jerk reaction. We'll probably go over to some top comments, or over some controversial comments, and then read your comments down below and kind of do some decoy deliberation and figure out who the true antagonist is, and then also give them a theoretical punishment because they're found guilty in the court of DecoyNoise. So the first thing, well, actually, I'll address the thing in the edit is, if the cat gets removed, she wants to adopt her to treat her properly. Yes, because oftentimes, especially with an older cat and a weaker cat at that, if they take it to the pound, it's probably not going to get adopted, and then you're essentially sentencing the cat to death just because of bad treatment by your friend. So if you call animal control, you should probably take that cat in yourself. That would be the best thing for it. That doesn't make you a bigger antagonist. But to this whole story overall, a lot of the people just don't seem to understand that when you're taking a pet is your kid. Like they're completely relying on you. They're incredibly defenseless. They are your responsibility 100%. So you need to take care of them as if they were children. And the idea is, so what? You guys picked the friend picked up some ideology online that only affects you. Cool, that's fine. If you say you're like, anti-sunscreen because you don't like palm oil and how it affects orangutans, or whatever that situation is, that's fine. If you say, hey, look, you're willing to get sunburned because you're against it, you like to feel the burn, you don't mind the pain, it's cool, you'll be under the shade most of your life, whatever. But don't subject that to everybody else. If you have kids and they're running around in the sun and they're playing on the beach, or that's the playground, don't say, I don't believe in sunscreen, so you have to suffer sunburn your entire life. Like, that doesn't seem right at all. And the idea that she keeps on saying, it'll be fine, the cat will be fine. It's like, cats are carnivores. They just are. Everything about the Cheddar, from the way his teeth are shaped, to like the way his digestion works, to how his eyeballs work, the way they like detect light, it's just been evolved to find and eat meat. Just because you saw some post on your your best friend's yoga teacher's sister on Facebook doesn't mean that it changes the idea that he's a freaking carnivore. Like, that's just who he is. So if you don't like that idea that the cats are just they need to eat meat, then you don't like cats. You shouldn't own a cat. You shouldn't have adopted a kitten, because it doesn't change that. They just are that way. And just because, Edward Cullen in Twilight said, oh, it's not good to eat human blood. This is ridiculous. It's not good to eat blood, and I can change that. There's no seminar for cats. They're not getting together to say, this is morally, I object to this. Let's figure out how to eat Pop-Tarts and, Honey Nut Cheerios. I'm just craving those two foods right now. But like I always say, I may or may not be wrong. I'm very strongly opinionated on it. Like, I mean, even though you saw Cheddar incredibly terrified to lay in my arms right now, doesn't mean that I don't treat him well. He's very well off right now. So like always, make sure you drop your comment down below, earn yourself that Decoy coin, because I mean, it's gonna be worth something at some point in time. It's gonna be somewhere worth between Bitcoin and Beanie Babies. That's where the Decoy coin exists. So I mean, it may be worth something. So let's go ahead and look at that top comment right now, or take a quick break, pause the video, let me know what you think, and then we'll go to the top comment. But top comment says, not the antagonist, but you should report it to the ASPCA first, and then talk to them about fostering/adopting the cat. Otherwise, she can call the authorities for you stealing her cat. So they're just saying, steal the cat. And then OP comes back and says, that's what I meant, not stealing. And then someone says, yes, please do that. You're definitely not the antagonist. Good luck, and I hope the kitty gets a good home. Yeah, I think, stealing, it's never right. You shouldn't do that. You shouldn't take somebody else's cat. But if somebody else is you know, I don't want to say abusing the cat, but, you know, malnourishing the cat, not taking care of the cat really well, you really can't blame somebody. Like, what is it? The people that rescue like pit bulls or dogs, they oftentimes will have the video starting out with like, oh yeah, this pit bull lives at this guy's house, but he's chained to like the garage. He's out there in the rain, and look how skinny he is. He's not eating any food at all. So, is stealing wrong? Yes, you should never steal. But honestly, if you're walking over there to save a dog's life because of their being malnourished and neglected, nobody's gonna blame you for that. So let's go ahead and look at this next top for reply. Not the antagonist. Cats aren't just carnivores, they're obligated carnivores, meaning they need meat in their diets. Phone animal control / the authorities or similar and report her. What your friend is doing is animal abuse. Your friend should not be forcing reviews and diet on anyone, people or animal, especially if their diet means life or death to them. Which is true. Like, what if, I guess there's no way I can put this, but it's like, if they need food in their diet and like we need water in our diet, can you just say like, you know what, I don't like the way that food or water is just harvested from the rivers and brought to our dish. No more water. It's terrible, a terrible analogy. And somebody else says, especially taurine, like the stuff that's in Monster Energy drinks. So what, my cat can pound some Red Bull? I don't know. The next reply is, don't understand people like this at all. I have a friend who's vegan who occasionally borders on the annoying vegan thing, like judging the fact that I bought a snail mucin face serum and posting annoying vegan stuff on her social media. She has a cat who she makes her eats the best food because she's not an effing idiot. I hate people, also not the antagonist. Which is true, like, oh, the best fish food, so they make sure that, like, you know, they're conscientious about the way they feed the cat. And I feel like that's a good middle ground, because what cat doesn't like tuna? Like, cats like tuna, cats like bacon. I'm sure he would live very happily if he was just eating tuna for the rest of his life. But let's go ahead and look at the next top reply. Show her Kitten Lady. Kitten Lady is a diehard vegan but knows cats cannot exist that way. I'm sure her YouTube has something about it. I'm not the biggest fan of Kitten Lady personally, based on some of the things that went down with someone that adopted one of her fosters, but Kitten Lady 100% knows what she's talking about when it comes to cats. Okay, I don't know if they say I'm not her Kitten Lady's fan, but she's a vegan and gives her cats food or meat. Okay. And the next reply, I know and love Kitten Lady, but don't think a video is going to magically change a friend's mind, unfortunately. Which is true. So the next reply is, I mean, Kitten Lady is all about cats' well-being, and is vegan herself. She has the qualifications to be respected by the friend, and has the qualifications to be regarded as a cat expert in cat nutrition. Okay. Next top post. This is deaf animal abuse and you should contact animal control. And the next one, call animal control, feeding a cat a vegan diet will kill it. Which probably is true. I mean, I wonder how long he can go before it actually becomes an emergency, and hopefully that the friend can actually identify that, saying maybe this isn't a good idea right now. So I mean, like, you guys know if you've been around the channel for a while, I'm like the opposite of a vegan, pretty omnivore on all fronts. Like, I love all those foods. So if you are vegan, and I understand that there are different levels of vegan, people that don't, like, you know, eat meat, but then there's people that don't eat like animal products like cheeses or milks, and then there's people that don't have products that were like tested on animals, like certain cosmetics or medications, and then there's vegans where it's like, even if the animal has been dead, like leather thrifted from a store, they won't even use that as well. So there's lots of different levels of vegan. So if you're a vegan in any of those categories, let me know which one you are down below, and what kind of animal you have, and what accommodations you would make for your animal that don't exactly align with your beliefs. And if you do that, that's a guaranteed decoy koi coin, because I do want to hear about that stuff. I love hearing when I'm wrong. Like, I have no qualms with that at all. So let's go to the top controversial comment right now. So this person says, not the antagonist at all, but give the kitty a proper home by going through the correct channels. That said, though, I'm curious as to why a cat can't survive off a vegan diet. I know they're carnivores, but like, wouldn't they be able to get protein and stuff from beans or something? If anyone knows, I'd greatly appreciate if you could elaborate for me. So, and that's why I don't like Reddit sometimes, in the sense where obviously this person isn't the biggest source of information, where she's saying, I don't know, can't they just get the protein from the other beans and stuff? Like, they obviously don't know what they're talking about, but they said it in a good way. Like, I'd appreciate if you could elaborate. Let me know. This is part of the discussion. If they put this at the very top of this, got upvoted to the top, people would still get the correct information. So why downvote them? It's just, I don't like what you're saying so bad. It's not about right and wrong. It's about, like, you know, contributing to the discussion. If she posted a meme, yeah, downvoted. But if she's asking a question, why not? Let's go ahead and read the reply from OP. No, carnivores are only able to get their nutrients through meats, or they need things from meats. Omnivores can get protein in things from beans though. So yeah, just the way their stomach works and everything. That's like a biology lesson right there. And then somebody else replied, says, oh, okay, so it's something to do with them having a different digestive system then. Like, can they only fully digest and get nutrients from meat? Or is there theoretically a way to feed them veggies and things, but also have to feed them a duckload of vitamins? And then the reply from OP was says, no, they would have problems digesting or chewing them because their teeth and there aren't many vitamins for animals. And that's a kind of a weird, like, idealistic way of approaching it. Like, well, is there a way that we could, like, you know, engineer some sort of vitamin to give to the animals so they could, like, you know, we wouldn't have to hurt other animals to feed this animal? It's like, no, I'm sorry, that's nature. Like, it's very, very callous. And if you look at the reality of it, it's a terrible thing to think about. But the idea that, what, you're just gonna, like, if we're, like, you know, hardwired to enjoy, like, a fresh, ice-cooled glass of ice water, do you, like, it's such a hard analogy, but just the idea that a cat probably loves eating wet food, just chewing into the texture of whatever the beef is, or the duck or something, and tasting that makes my cat super happy. I can't make him do a single thing unless it's food related. So the idea that my cat doesn't care about me kind of at all, except for the fact that I give him food, you really want to deprive the animal of that pleasure the rest of its life just because you have this ideology of how you think cats should be, or maybe it'd be better this way? It's like, no, that's just who they are. So I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, put comments down below, but let's go ahead and check out some more controversial replies. Not the antagonist is always a vegan's man, LMAO. And then the next reply was, not the antagonist for sure. Cats need to eat meat since they just simply aren't built to be able to live off just plants. They cannot produce certain essential nutrients that can only get from eating meat. I really hope your friend's cat ends up okay. So yeah. Next one is, not the antagonist. Your friend is abusing her cat by not feeding her the appropriate diet. Cats need meat in their diet to be healthy, so she shouldn't have a pet if she isn't willing to educate herself on the animal's needs. Which is very true. It's like, if she wants a cat for social media pictures or somebody to hang out with her while she watches TV or whatever the case may be, she needs to just accept them for who they are, which are cold-blooded killers. Like, they're assassins. The cats, if you leave them outdoors and they see a bird, they're just expert at killing them, and that's who they are. You can't be like, oh, I love cats because they're cuddly and furry and, you know, they have, like, the cutest faces when they're sad, but I don't love them because they eat birds and mice and lizards and everything that comes across their face, you know? Just, that's part of cat ownership. So like I said, I have a very skewed view of what this is. I mean, let me know down below if you feel the other way, or just you support me, you don't, whatever it may be. Drop a comment down below. I still read everything, even though I don't have enough time to reply to everybody else like I used to, because literally, if I'm away from the computer for one day as the videos get uploaded, there's probably 150 to 200 comments posted in there, and it's just like, there's no way that I can get to all of them. So I really do read all the comments. It's just typing replies that are personalized. I never wanted to copy and paste a reply to you guys because that seems impersonal. I do read it all. I still want to interact with everybody, and I appreciate when you do put comments down there, as I do appreciate when you watch the entire video. You've made it this far in the video, you get the celebration right now. If you haven't already, subscribe down below, hit the notification bell, because I do want you guys to be a part of the conversation, because I'll interact with you guys early on, but as the video gets further on, just people aren't really talking as much. If you haven't already, check out DecoyNoise.com for surveys, polls, get more information on DecoyNoise and what we're doing with the podcast. And if anything, put it on autoplay and see what's coming up next, because we got more DecoyNoise coming on now.